Welcome to 100 Yards of Football this morning. It's the Dallas Cowboys team preview. So if you like the video this morning, please come in and share it. And I'm your host, Vincent Turner, the Dallas Cowboys #1 fan. So if you like the video, please come in and share it as we're going to break down the Dallas Cowboys for 2021. Let me start with the Dallas Cowboys. It's special to be a Cowboys fan. Because if you know about the Dallas Cowboys, the fan base spans all over the United States. And it's special. And I've been a Cowboys fan since 1966, when it was just breaking into the National Football League, when that man with the head, Tom Landry, was the head coach. And all those years, it's not been one time that I've never stepped away of being a fan. I've seen some great Cowboy teams in the past, starting in the 60s. Dan Meredith, Dan Perkins, Bob Hayes. Then in the 70s, that young man out of Cincinnati, Ohio, by the name of Roger Staubach. The young man out of TCU University, Bob Lilly. The great Kevin Hill, Dwayne Thomas. Then in the late 70s, Ed Too Tall Jones, Tony Dorsett, Thomas Hollywood Henderson, Michael Downs, Everson Walls. Then in the 90s, under the greatest owner who's ever owned a franchise in professional sports, Jerry Jones. The 90s with Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin. Very special to be a Cowboys fan. So that being said, let me break down the 2021 Dallas Cowboys. You got to understand something. Each year when the Dallas Cowboys preseason comes up, as a Cowboys fan, it's either bust or Super Bowl. I don't care how the football team is. It could be average, it could be bad, or it be good. Every Cowboys fan out there in Cowboy Nation expects the Cowboys to be knocking on the door of the Super Bowl. So this 2021 team can be very special this year because of a young man out of Louisiana by way of Mississippi State finally got his money in the offseason, Dak Prescott. $160 million for 4 years. Through the first 5 games, he threw over 1,857 yards. And I'm going to tell you this. I've been following this game for a long time. And I've been a Cowboys fan for a long time. We all know that. I'll be 61 July 17th. I have never seen a quarterback come in as a 4th-round draft pick and progress as quickly as he's done outside Tom Brady, the GOAT. And to play for the most scrutinized franchise and be where he's at today, that's saying something special about Dak Prescott. The key to Dallas offense in 2021 with all the Cowboy fans is how healthy is Dak Prescott. If Dak Prescott is healthy, he could be one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the game from an offensive standpoint. Let's go to the running back position. I know a lot of people are down on Ezekiel Elliott out of the Ohio State. But let me tell you, Cowboy Nation, do not leave this young man and do not step out on him and do not throw him on the bus no more. Yes, he took a step back last year. He only averaged 65 yards a game. Yes, he had 6 forced fumbles. He lost 5. Yes, he only averaged 4 yards a carry. But remember this, the offensive line had injuries. Tyron Smith only played 2 games. Zach Martin missed 6 games. And La'el Collins didn't play at all. He was playing behind a makeshift offensive line. But I promise you, for all indications, the young man out of the Ohio State, Ezekiel Elliott, is going to come back to his rookie form. So I'm not worrying about that. As far as the receivers on the offensive side of the ball, I love what we got. I think we got the best trio in all the National Football League. Yes, I do. 225 catches, close to 2,900 yards, 15 touchdowns. How you going to stop us? You got to have 3 defensive backs in your secondary. You got to have safeties that play the deep middle of the field. Amari Cooper, University of Alabama, Roll Tide, has been a pretty good player. Michael Gallup has shocked the world out of Monroe, Georgia. He is right now one of the top receivers in the game. Yes, I'm saying it. Not even heard of. And then, as I told you, Boomer Sooner, C.D. Lamb was going to be that guy last year. Then the most strength of our football team. And if this position group comes back healthy, the Cowboys are going to win the NFC East. And that's the offensive line. Tyron Smith, from all indications, is healthy. Zach Martin, from all indications, is healthy. L. Collins, from all indications, is healthy. So the offensive line is going to be intact. The Cowboy offense is going to fly like an eagle this season. Now let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Very disappointing last year. The Cowboys finished 31st against the run. That's unheard of. Basically, watching over the years, all those great defensive lines the Cowboys had. Back during the Super Bowl years, Bob Lilly, Jeffrey Prue, the young man out of Jackson, Tennessee, Ed Too Tall Jones, Russell Maryland out of Chicago by way of the U, Leon Lett. For that to happen last year under Mike Longley, who's not a defensive coordinator with the Cowboys no more, in the 3-4, that was very disheartening. To watch the Cowboys defense give up 4 games over 200 yards. That doesn't supposed to happen in Dallas. But you know what? They're going to a 4-3 scheme. They bring in, I think, the best defensive coach as a defensive coordinator that was out on the market, and Dan Quinn. I know Dan Quinn, the situation didn't go over well in Atlanta. That's what we broadcasting live today from Metro Atlanta. But let me tell you something about him. He's a player's coach. And one thing that he did with the Atlanta Falcons, I don't care what anybody says out there about him, he got the Falcons to the Super Bowl. That's hard to do as a head coach. But I'm going to tell you, we at Cowboy Nation love him. We're glad he's here. Because one thing about Dan Quinn, even though the situation didn't work out in Atlanta, I'm not going to put no player names out there, but he put his soul and heart in certain players that he thought was going to be good defensive players on the defensive line. And they let him down, and it cost him his job. So I'm not going to go there in Atlanta, but I know this. When I look at Dan Quinn from a career standpoint, all I know, he was in Seattle. And that Seattle defense on the D-line was nasty. Michael Bennett, Cliff Avril, Chris Clemens, Red Bryant, Clint McDonald from the 901 played at the University of Memphis, and Tony McDonald, go Vols, Big Orange. And there was a Super Bowl defense. Dan Quinn, the first thing he's done since he came in that I'm very, very proud of, he switched to a 4-3. Another thing he's done, he's went out and he's got D linemen that's going to fit that scheme. Dallas is a lot more deeper on the D line. Carlos Watkins is a player. Brent Urban is a player. Then they drafted a young man. I know he fell in the draft, but I saw him play a lot because we down in Atlanta. I saw a lot of SEC football. Cowboy Nation. Remember this name on the defensive line. He goes by the name of Quentin Bohanna. He's going to be a player. And then, of course, going to a 4-3 under Dan Quinn, DeMarcus Lawrence took a step back. Only 11.5 sacks in 2019 and 2020. But when using that 4-3, 2017 and 2018, he had 25 sacks. And one other thing, I'm hoping if Dan Quinn gets this young man together, he can be one of the best players that played in the position. I was looking at the stats the other day. I didn't know in 6 years he's been in the league, he's only played in 38 games. But in the 38 games he's played in, you can tell he can be a big, big impact. So my heart and souls go out to you, Randy Gregory. Please listen to Dan Quinn because, brother, you can be the one of the best that's done it at this position. Can nobody block you when you're on your game? Now I'm going to the linebacker position. Very disappointed how the linebackers played last year. Like I said, 31st against the run. Jalen Smith, I'm still in your corner, baby. You got the money, but you didn't play well last year, my man. Lyndon Vanden Earth, man, I hope you be able to respond from the injuries you had in your neck, man, because you had a great rookie year, 178 tackles. But, man, you got to stay healthy. But that's all right, though. Help us come this way at the linebacker position. His name is Michael Parsons. Penn State University. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I got to look down. He is a player. 101 in his career. Didn't even play his junior year. Opted out because of COVID. His last year in his career at Penn State, 191 tackles. 18 tackles for loss. 6 sacks all over the field. I look at him as a second coming of LeVar Arrington. Skills similar to Lawrence Taylor. Cover skills similar to Jack Ham. The power and the hitting ability of one Wilbur Marshall when he was with the Chicago Bears. And he's got all the skills, and he reminds me, and I just mentioned all those great players' names, but he can be the next Hollywood Thomas Henderson. That's right, Michael Parsons, a young man out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and they represent, can I say Danny Green? Can I say Ricky Waters? Can I say Jimmy Jones? And one thing of Michael Parsons, he's going to be a playmaker at the high level, generational talent. But he's got another partner that's coming with him that's going under the radar. He went to LSU and played very good football last year. He had 58 tackles, had 6 sacks, had an interception return for a touchdown. He played in North Dakota State, had over 318 tackles in his career. But don't be surprised that Jamil Cox is going to be in the lineup. I was surprised he fell all the way down in the 4th round. And you know what he's got? Even though LSU was struggling defensively last year, what I saw a warrior. Warriors come out to play. Now I'm going to the secondary. This is where I feel like the Cowboys make a jump here. We could talk something special. We could talk moving into the playoffs. We could talk about saving Mike McCartney's job. We could talk about making Al Harris looking good, the DB coach. We could talk about Dan Quinn becoming the second sign of the Messiah. Trayvon Diggs played very well at the end of the year as a rookie. So I think he's going to be a player. Kevin Joseph, I expect to start out of Kentucky. That's a player. Things didn't work out at LSU, but what did he do? He went to Kentucky, and all you have to do is put on that Alabama game film from last year. He held his own against Devontae Smith, who I last time checked was a first-round pick of the Philadelphia Eagles this year and won the Heisman Trophy at the wide receiver position. And boy, the safety position. Dante Casey. Remember, he was an interception machine down here in Dallas. In Atlanta, Donovan Wilson is a pretty good football player, ended up playing pretty good at the end of the year. Kwana Neal, if healthy, can be that guy that can be a bridge. Remember, Mr. Neal was playing excellent football at the Pro Bowl level when the Falcons made it to the Super Bowl. The young man can play just injuries and just hurt his career. And then what I heard, Dallas has got this young man that's really they thinking is going to come on the scene. His name is Nashawn Wright, 4th round pick out of Oregon State. And what I understand, he's got the look of a next coming off Richard Sherman. He's 6'4", 191, but more quicker and more faster than Richard Sherman. And what I heard, what he did in the OTAs against the first team offense, I know there's no pads on, but you can take a lot out of the OTAs. His grade report, aggressive A+, competitive A+, was around the ball a lot, A+, pass breakups, A+. And one thing I like about him, that he set the tone for the Cowboy rookies. He was hungry, A+, chip on his shoulder. He was a warrior. Warriors come out to play. So I'm going to end it with the Cowboys 2021 team preview. That Prescott comes back healthy. I can see very special things on offense. Of course, I'm concerned how well is his ankle. He had 2 surgeries, one in October, then he had to come back one in December. But they say he's moving around well. But he has to stay healthy for the Cowboys to really ascend at another level offensively. Ezekiel Elliott, don't worry about it. Young man going to prove you wrong. The same way he proved you wrong when he was a sophomore. When they was talking about that Alabama defense in the Sugar Bowl. And nobody even heard of Ezekiel Elliott. And remember, Ohio State had lost a game that year to Virginia Tech. And what did he do? Ohio State was like a 13-point favorite. And he put up 283 yards on the Alabama defense. They had Reggie Racklin, Landon Collins. I don't have to say no more. You can doubt him if you want to. The young man is going to be back. And the receiving core, we all know how special they can be. Dak Prescott is healthy, bombs away, as we say in the 901. Then, let me throw that out there at the running back position. Ezekiel We'll bounce back, but I want to give love to Tony Pollard. Orange Mound Finest out of the 911. He's a player. So Ziegler is going to be all right, but Tony Pollard is going to have his back if the Cowboys struggle with some running game. Then finally, the offensive line is the key. If it's healthy, the Cowboy offense is going to fly like an eagle. There's no question about it. Defense, if the Cowboys can come back into the middle of the pack, and I'm looking for the D-line to be very explosive. I'm looking for DeMarcus Lawrence to play at another level. I'm looking at Randy Gregory to really stay on the field this year under Dan Quinn. I'm looking at Quentin Bohanna to be an unsung hero. I'm looking at Michael Parsons to shock the world at the linebacker position. If Jalen Smith and Lyndon Van Der Earth stay healthy, Dallas is going to have the best, quickest, fastest trio of linebackers in the game. And, of course, in the secondary, I understand there's concerns there. But, hey, I feel good where we at this year because we got depth and we got size in the secondary. And we got guys that can play. Kevin Joseph can play. Trayvon Diggs showed you at the end of the year he can play. The safety position, Donovan Wilson showed that he can play. And if DeMonte Casey can stay healthy, all I can say, Warrior status. Warriors come out to play. So that's my preview of my team, the 2021 Dallas Cowboys. All I can say before I end the video today is very, very simple. As I get my notes, that's one thing I'm going to say. Cowboy Nation, rise up. Rise up. Because if everything falls into place, like the great Horace Brown says, 1 for the money, 2 for the show. The Cowboys are going to fly in Texas Stadium. And hopefully 1995 could come back. 2 for the money, 1 for the show. Thank you for watching the Dallas Cowboys 2021 preview. I'm your host, Vincent Turner. And thank you for watching today. And kudos to my producer this morning, my man, the youngest member of 100 Yards of Football, Mr. Logan Landers. Y'all be blessed and have a wonderful morning.